Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for the week of July 7th. You have this practice freedom card. It says release the weight of judgment. You also have this card. It says do what you need to do. It may be difficult, but now is the time. So definitely time to make your move. And yeah, I do think it's a good time for everyone to release judgment. We are in a very authentic time. I mean, that is kind of like part of Saturn and Neptune both being in Aries, your opposite sign. I always say that, I think that a good way to think about Neptune and Saturn and Aries is that, well, number one, we have to see things through to the end. Aries is an initiator. Can never get that word out, but they're sometimes bad at finishing things. And so, the whole point of this astrology that we'll be dealing with for the next many years, Saturn will be there for almost 3 years, and Neptune, of course, will be there for like 14 years. A little bit less since it's already entered, but whatever. And, the whole point is I think we have to see things through to the end. Things that we want to get started on, things that we want to work on. But I also think we need to speak up, speak our truth more. It's like people who sit on a fence are going to have a very hard time, right? It's like people who aren't willing to say, what they feel are going to really struggle. I think people who don't speak up in general, if there are things that you're feeling in love, in business, and pretty much anything else, we have to be brave. We have to be willing to kind of let those things out. And I think the people who really make a difference at this time in their own lives, I'm not even talking about in the world, although that could be part of it, right? The people who really improve their lives the most are going to be the people who are the loudest. And, some people might not like that, especially quiet people. I get it. I'm I'm a little bit of an introverted extrovert, right? It's I'm one of those people where it's for the most part, I like to be home. I like to be introverted and all that other stuff. But if I, once I'm out partying, let me tell you something. I'm there to party, right? Wherever I am. So that's how I am. But, I definitely feel for, you introvert people, because sometimes, I'm a Pisces. I for the most part, I just want to be an introvert. But again, like I said, once I get going, then forget about it. Crazy stuff is going down. But, what I would say is, again, I think that being bold and speaking up is going to be important. And it's okay also, by the way, to be an introvert. You can still be an introvert, and you can still share your voice, in other ways, Maybe you learn to write at this time, or maybe you learn how to do something else that gets your word out into the world. But that's really what's popping into my head here. You have the Queen of Cups, the Four of Cups, and the High Priestess in your current general energies. Queen of Cups, of course, is about following your heart. So we really have to follow our heart, of course, with the Queen of Cups. Our heart is usually guiding us with the Queen of Cups in a direction. And so I would follow your heart at this time. And you have the Ace of Cups right next to it. Next, you have the Four of Cups. Four of Cups is basing new things off of past disappointments, which I wouldn't be doing. It's interesting that you have the Four of Cups and then you have the Ace of Cups, right? Because we have this big cup being offered to him here, but he's not accepting it because he's been disappointed at least 3 times before. So, again, it looks to me like you are getting an offer for something that you have wanted. But again, I would be careful of basing it off of past disappointments. I would make sure, again, I think you need to look at something as brand new, is kind of what the reading is saying. Or you need to look at something as new enough or something like that. And, that's really what I would pay attention to here with the Four Cups. You have the High Priestess. The High Priestess can be about trusting your intuition or needing to trust your intuition. It's kind of weird. A lot of people have been getting this High Priestess energy lately. One thing I will say is Saturn and Aries. Saturn and Aries, again, Aries is technically the first house, right? And so the High Priestess is about understanding your true potential. She has no roof over her head. And so the High Priestess, yeah, she can represent intuition and all that other stuff and mysteries. But she can also, again, represent your potential, or she can represent the fact that you actually have unlimited potential. There's nothing that can get in your way if you set your mind to it, whatever you're trying to accomplish. So, again, I think a lot of people are starting something big at this time. We had Neptune in Pisces. Neptune will retrograde into Pisces this year before, next year, I think it's January 26th, that Neptune officially enters into Aries to stay for 14 years. So we will get a little bit, one more last taste of Neptune and Pisces. And then the next time Neptune comes back to Pisces, we will all be dead. So there you go. right? Doesn't matter. But so you have one chance now to live the impossible dream. I've been begging people to do this for years. I don't care how hard it may seem. If there is something that you really want, like, now is the time to get started. And you don't have to be perfect, and you don't have to start big at all. You can start very, very small at this time. And so, like, what I mean by that is, like, maybe you want to open a restaurant. Like, what's the smallest thing you can do? This is the example I always give. It's like, if you want to open a restaurant, maybe that's your big ass dream, right? Then invite your friends over and charge them all $5. If your friends aren't willing to pay you $5 for food that you cook for them, then you probably shouldn't open a restaurant, because then they're being honest. They're basically saying your food sucks, right? But if they are willing to pay you $5 for your food, then hey, you just opened a restaurant on a very small level, right? Probably illegal in some cities as well to do that, but obviously don't tell the cops. If you have any cop friends, don't invite them, right? There you go. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Four of Wands, marriage. I think there is love coming in for you here, Libra. I think you have to open up a little bit here. It's I don't know. I'm not calling you out. Don't take this the wrong way, right? I was born with resting bitch face, right? Like, if you go to my videos when I first started my channel, people were always asking me, what's wrong? Did someone hurt my feelings? Like, all these questions. People are always asking me these things, right? There's a very popular video on my channel, what's wrong with my face? If you Google that, there you go. I explain what the problem with my face is. So I'm not calling you out here by any means. What I'm trying to say is right here. Page of Cups to the Seven of Swords. Like, this could be a person that's interested in you, but again, if you also have a face problem like me, I'm not calling you out. Like I said, I have the same exact problem, right? People think I'm mad or angry or whatever, but really, like, I'm a very happy person for the most part. But again, right here, it's like, maybe you have RBF, maybe you look cold, but you're not, So again, I kind of feel like there could be a person who is interested in you, but they might be a little nervous based off of your energy. And I'm not saying you have to change that or anything, but, I would do something. With the Four of Cups, you Queen of Cups again, right? So we have all these Cups card. It's like there's clearly one thing that could bring a lot of flow into your life. Again, the Ace of Cups is overflowing. The Ace of Cups is your flow. And the Ace of Cups says there's like an opportunity for you to get into the flow. And that's exactly what I would do with that card is, I would be getting into the flow or doing things that bring more flow into your life. And, again, the Ace of Cups is about doing the things. That cup can easily reach down into the water below it, and it can fill itself up. So it's about doing those things that you could do endlessly. With the High Priestess, you have the Nine of Wands. Didn't I say try again or something? Pretty sure. I think you're trying something again, with the Nine of Wands. And now would be a good time, by the way. It is Mercury retrograde, coming up on the 17th of July till the 12th of August. But one thing I will say is Mercury retrograde it's perfectly fine to do something again that you've already done, right? So it's like maybe you had a business failure in the past and now you're going to try it again. Or maybe you had some other type of failure in the past, and now you're going to try again. So like I said, it's perfectly fine to try something again during a retrograde. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Royal You card and this Quieting the Mind card. Yes, I think you need to act as if you are glowing at this time, Libra, with that Royal You card. It's like, I think it's almost like an attitude that you need to develop with that Royal You card. This might not be a great example, but this is the example I always use for this as well. It's like because it's something weird that I've always noticed is that over the years, I've been on social media for over 10 years now, and well over. Right, I had a channel before this one that unfortunately I deleted that I wish I didn't delete. Yet, yes, those videos are pure cringe, but I wish I had it. Because I don't know, it would just be good. But anyway, I've been doing this for a long time. One thing I've noticed is that sometimes there will be people who just like come out of nowhere. It's like all of a sudden they're like popular on social media and things like that. But if you really look at those people, it's like they have a certain thing. Like they really believe what they're saying. They really believe in themselves on a deeper level, right? And I kind of feel like that's what this is saying. Like if there's something you want, it doesn't have to be social media. I'm just using that as an example. Could be love, could be money, could be business. It's like if you just claim it, if you just say, I am this thing, I feel that will make all the difference in the world for you here, Libra. So I would really go for what you want and claim the energy. You have the Ace of Cups, the Five of Wands, and the Eight of Cups. The Ace of Cups, of course, can represent one last opportunity or offer coming in for you here. So again, if you are hoping for a love offer, definitely could be a love offer. I mean, you have the Page of Cups as well coming up here. I feel like you make someone nervous, but not like in a bad way. Like I said, I'm not calling you cold or anything. Like I said, I have been told I have a cold appearance. Like when people, even people I've met, right? I met a lady in a gas station in the middle of frickin' nowhere who recognized me from my channel, right? I was traveling with my brother, and she was like, "Oh, you're much nicer than I thought." I'm like, "Oh wow, thanks." It's like she thought I was like cold or something. So I totally get it, right? And so what I would say here is that the Ace of Cups is kind of like saying, I feel like someone wants to make an offer, but they're like a little bit nervous, or, I don't know. Something's up here is what I would say. The other thing is again, if I were a Libra, I would be trying to get into as much flow as I possibly can. I'm not a Libra. I have 0 Libra on my chart, and I have been doing this. I think I said this to you. I feel like I'm repeating myself from the last reading, but it's like this year, starting now, like back at the end of May, I really started making it a point to do things that get me into the flow. Hobbies, things that I enjoy. I've booked 3 trips this year already to do things that are based off of a hobby that are going to be fun for me, right? So it's like we need more of this flow energy because we can't give from an empty cup, right? And I don't know. I don't know what exactly is causing this, but I just feel, and I feel it for the collective, that if you're not doing things to fill your cups, and again, it doesn't have to cost money. It could be totally free, right? Whatever it is that you're doing, but I would find something. I would find things as well. It's like, I always tell people, it's like, there are some movies I watch sometimes. Like if I'm in a bad mood, I'll watch that movie. It'll bring up my mood, right? Or it will motivate me or whatever. It's like, I think we need to use as many tools as we possibly can. Could be a movie, could be a song that gets you pumped up, gets you excited. Some days I go for walks, right? I literally have a motivational video playlist on my phone, and sometimes I just walk to the motivational video playlist, right? Because it's like a bunch of people yelling at me in my ears. I respond very well to that for whatever reason, right? That drill sergeant energy, it just gets me going sometimes. So, again, sometimes that's what I need, right? But I have made it a point over the past many years to create a bunch of tools like that where if I'm in a certain mood, I can get out of it. And that's definitely popping into my head for you. You have the 5 of Wands. I feel like this is competition. I feel like you should just ignore it. I feel like there's nothing you should do here, Libra. I think that that there probably are going to be a lot of people who are jealous of you. Ignore it. There's nothing to say. You have the 8 of Cups. A lot of 8 of Cups energy lately. So, yeah, I think a lot of people could be walking away from things that no longer serve them. There's a couple of problems, really. Well, it's not really a problem, but I do think it could suck on a certain level for some people. We have a lot of truth in the astrology. Neptune going from Pisces to Aries, then it's going to retrograde back into Pisces. Neptune and Pisces is a total illusion, but when it goes into Aries, it's like breaking the illusion. So a lot of us are going to have illusions broken. Some of those things will be good. Some of them might be uncomfortable, but it's just like part of life, right? And so we might have to walk away from things where it's like we thought it was one thing, but it's really another because we're breaking the illusion, right? And so that's kind of what I feel with that 8 of Cups is like they're just, just certain changes that you're kind of like going through and that you're experiencing. And there you go. Let's see. With the 8 of Cups, you have the Page of Wands. Definitely a new person in love, for sure. Could definitely a fire sign. You always get fire with me. I'm not saying it has to be a fire sign, but I don't know. You always get fire with me, and it could be a very fiery person. You could meet this person out and about as well. Page of Wands is usually like meeting a person on an adventure or, something like that. It could be a person you know already as well. But Page of Wands, again, would be like a friend or something like that. With the 5 of Wands, you have the 10 of Wands. Yeah, well, here's the thing, is that 10 of Wands with the Ace of Cups basically says, stop doing the hard things. 10 of Wands is making things too hard and complicated on yourself. I literally said in the beginning of the year, in the 2025 readings, that 2025 would definitely be a year of simplification, where we need to take complex ideas and do them simply. And the people who do that are going to be very successful. So I would say, don't overcomplicate things in your life. With the 8 of Cups, you have the 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords can represent a separation or walking away from something. It can represent winning at all cost. There's like a little bit of a theme this week, I would say, where it's like I think people, as in the people that I'm reading for, you, could be doing things that other people in your life don't like. And I think this is a comfort zone thing, really. we're in a time of great change. So if you are leaving any comfort zones or if you're taking any risks, people are going to say, you're making me uncomfortable by making these changes in your life, even though it's not my life, right? And that is the job, is we should be ignoring that. I've been telling people for months, Neptune and Aries is the rise of cults. We are going to see a lot of this where people are going to say, I know how you should live, right? And those are the people you shouldn't listen to. The other thing you shouldn't listen to during Neptune and Aries is basically people who are saying, I need you to do this so that I can be okay, right? So a lot of the times when people tell us not to do things or whatever, it's because they are basically projecting, right? They need us to be a certain way because they're basically saying our actions are affecting them. They're not living their own life, right? So we need to be very careful of those people, and we should pretty much just ignore them, and that's basically what I would do here. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this request card, you have this approve card. You have a lot of asking energy as well, which is interesting. Like, a lot of people have been getting these cards that have been saying, if you ask, you will get. So if you ask the universe for something that you desire, you will receive it. And I think you just need to ask and then approve, right? And take the actions. And that's it here, Libra. I think that will be very good for you. You have the Hermit, the Seven of Swords, and the Knight of Wands. I do feel that some of you maybe need to get out of Hermit mode again. You have the Five of Wands, which is like not wanting to socialize. It is a really good time to socialize, though, so if you're looking for opportunities, it could be a good time to do that. I also kind of feel like you are undervaluing something in your life. Like, I don't really feel this is like that big of a deal, but sometimes with the Hermit, I think that our information might be much more valuable than we realize, and so that can make it hard for us to like speak up at work when we should be speaking up because maybe it leads to another opportunity, or it's like it's like maybe we are interested in a person, right? And maybe we're thinking like, oh, I'm not good enough for this person, but we actually are. So again, I think this is kind of like saying don't hold back maybe with that card. You have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords can be lying, cheating, stealing, but Seven of Swords really is a card of doing things in a different way. And you go up to the Eight of Swords. So literally, I look at the Seven of Swords kind of as the solution to the Eight of Swords because she's only looking at one way of doing things. He is sneaking away from this army in the background, and he's stealing these swords. So instead of going to war, he's doing things in a different way. And, I think that's all you have to think about with this card. He also has these polka dots on his cloak. So again, not taking things too seriously. Maybe you come off as too serious or something like that. Like, we had this talk, gas station lady, who called me a jerk to my face, right? Just kidding, if that lady is watching. I know what she meant. And I'm not that sensitive, okay? And so, again, I think that maybe sometimes you need to be a little bit more playful, or maybe you just need to give a little bit more of a playful vibe here. And I think that could be very helpful, especially if you're, like, looking for love or something, Libra. With these two cards, it's like if you're always too serious, or if you're, it's like if you're not giving a person an opening, then they're just going to give up. And, I would be careful. You have the Knight of Wands, definitely needing more adventure. Everybody does. The answer is variety. We need a variety of experiences to pull from because we have Pluto and Aquarius for the next 19 years. And I really think that's the answer for everyone. It's kind of like hard to describe, but it's like if I were trying to improve something in my life, I would learn from every single person that existed on that topic. Why? Because that is giving yourself a variety of experiences to pull from. That's how we innovate. Innovation, we pull from experience and we say, how can I make this better, right? And so that's what we have to do with Pluto and Aquarius. And yes, it's the most significant freaking thing that we are dealing with. Again, I tell people all the time, here's the Earth. It's like Pluto has a highly elliptical orbit. It shoots all the way out here, at its furthest point, and it comes very close to Earth. It's still very far away. But when it's in Capricorn, it's very close to Earth. When it's in Aquarius, it's starting to go away from Earth, right? And so again, that's why it's such an important transit, because we will all be dead the next time this happens. We won't be here. We'll be long gone. We'll be over 100 years dead, right, by that time. So again, I think that it's a very important transit, very important to deal with and to work with. Everybody has to. And so giving yourself experiences or having experiences with what you want will give you the variety you need to pull from to innovate. With the Hermit, you have the Four of Pentacles. I would just let go of old ideas. It's like innovate, do new things, try new things. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Knight of Wands. I would just trust it. I would trust, if people are inconsistent, I would trust that. Meaning that you don't trust that person, right? you are trusting the behavior. You're not trusting the lies. And so I think that you need to be careful of inconsistent people and pay attention to people who are consistent, plain and simple. With the Knight of Wands, you have the Lovers. Definitely could be new love. Again, this could be two people. It could be one is inconsistent, one is consistent. I would pay attention to consistency. I think the problem with modern day dating is that inconsistency feels more exciting. But really, that is your anxiety. I always tell people butterflies in your stomach means that you have the shits. So, plain and simple. I do not think it's a good thing if you have butterflies with a person. I think it's much better to find a person who, it's like, I'm not calling this person boring at all. I don't think this person will be boring at all. But maybe at first, maybe you're worried that they're going to be boring. And maybe this person gives you butterflies, gives you the tingles because they're inconsistent, they don't respond to text quickly and all this other stuff, But again, that is a bad thing. That means that you're about to crap your pants. That means you are about to have diarrhea, right? We have to be honest about this. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this helping hand. It says, the universe is helping you find something you need that will lead you to your next steps. Yes. Again, another theme that I've noticed, it's like this month, July, it seems to be like a month where people are getting answers. You have this infinite possibilities card. It says, you are on the right path. Favorable energies are guiding you at this time. Amazing. So you are clearly being guided by the universe with these two cards, which is great. You have the Eight of Swords, the Page of Cups, and the Sun. The Eight of Swords can be self-imposed restriction, of course. She is stuck in these Eight Swords, and she needs to set herself free. And again, you have that Infinite Possibilities card. That would literally be the solution to the Eight of Swords, because she is only seeing one way of doing things when there are many. So, but again, it's coming up in the good stuff, so I'm not even worried about it. I think you are opening up to possibilities. Definitely love coming in for you. You have the Page of Cups if you want it. And again, even if you don't, and even if you do, I think there's a lot of really good heart-based stuff here. So, again, whether you want it or not, doesn't matter. Again, I think another thing that all of you could be moving towards is something that causes that Ace of Cups overflow. It could be a job, could be a project, or just something that you do that, kind of causes flow. So I think that's also coming in for you, but also if you want love, definitely could be love that's coming in for you. I don't think it's boring, like I said. I just think that you think that it's boring at first. I feel like you'll be attracted to this person for sure, Libra. But again, I'm not telling you what to do. But again, I think it would be worth it to give this person a chance, even if you're not sure at first. Again, I'm not saying obviously that you have to jump right into bed with this person. Of course not. Again, what I am saying is like maybe you're not sure after like 1 or 2 dates. It might be worth it to give them a third date, right? And just see what happens and kind of like go from there. So, I think that if you meet a new person where you're kind of like, I'm not sure if they're boring or not, or how I feel, they're not giving me the tingles, that's actually a good thing. It's not a bad thing, right? So, I would kind of think about that. You have the Sun, best card in the deck. Again, I think you would be very happy for, over time with this person, or right away. The Sun is ultimate happiness and joy. Best card in the tarot as well, makes the whole entire reading more positive. So, this looks very good to me here, Libra. Let's see. With the Eight of Swords, you have the Ace of Cups. There you go. Definitely something you will love. Didn't I connect these two just a second ago? I think the answer for you is more flow. It's like if you're doing things you hate, anything, you're going to have a hard time. If you're doing things you love, you're going to have a much better time. With the Page of Cups, you have the Three of Swords. Yes, Three of Swords is coming up in the good stuff. So that means you are healing your heart. Make sure you are healed before you enter into something. But also, it's kind of funny that I was saying, like, you might not be sure about this person, everything like that. Maybe you think this person's going to break your heart or something, but they're not. This is coming up in the good stuff, which means you are healed. This could also mean that you are attracting a healed person, right? Which is also a good thing. With the Sun, you have the Ten of Cups, which is also freaking amazing. This right here is definitely fortune after difficulty. The Ten of Cups can be fortune after difficulty, but with the Sun, it definitely represents fortune after difficulty, or happy home, happy family. So amazing. You have this door card. It says opportunities are waiting for you. Yes, you have to cross through that threshold. 4 wands. I didn't really say this, but 4 wands, there's a threshold here. It's like a finish line card. You have to cross through the middle of the card to celebrate on the other side. So, if there's anything you need to wrap up or complete in your life, I would complete those things and move forward. You have this hat card. It says you will be playing a different role. I'm pretty sure you've had this card with me, and yes, you have this Royal You card. No, I think you are creating the role in your life. this is like main character energy for you here, Libra. It's like, I think you are becoming the main character in a good way. It's like, maybe you are understanding that you have to like be a certain thing before you can be it. And yeah, that looks good. You have this dragon says, beware of self-delusion. Everybody needs to do this. Like, I think it would be great to surround yourself with people who check you in a healthy way, right? So, you know what I mean? That's what I would do here with this card. It's like, I have people in my life that I know are going to be harsher on like my projects and things like that than other people. And those are the people I trust for feedback, right? Because I know that they're not going to protect my feelings. I know that they're going to be perfectly willing to be happy if I start crying. So, those are the people that I rely on in my businesses to kind of like look at things, because I know that they're not going to sugarcoat it, right? And so like maybe you need to find people like that because it could be helpful. You have this V card. It says victory in some endeavor. Love it. Definitely could be a big win or a victory coming in for you. You have this June card and this Valley. It says deep personal strength and peace that assures success. So maybe you've started to develop this piece since June, and yeah, looks pretty good to me, so I like it. But this whole thing looks good. I like where this is going for you, Libra. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.